So I've had my Acer Helios 300 now for some time and I absolutely love it. It packs a lot of performance into a small package, and I didn't really think I wanted a gaming laptop before, but after using this laptop I have really enjoyed the overall experience of like mobile gaming. So I wanted to show you some games that I have available and show you the frame rates in all of these games. I mostly play at the highest settings, and we can see that in any game that I play, and most of these are really late releases as well, we get really good performance. And my Acer Helios 300 is spec'd with the 3060 mobile, and it's got a TDP of 105 watts. You can get the mobile 3060 from 80 watts to 130 max, I believe. So it's not the highest performing 3060 mobile, but it's not the worst either. And I have a 10300H Intel processor. I think it's the 10th gen, I guess so, since it's 10300, yeah. And it's a i5, and it isn't the best performing CPU, but the overall package here with a 3060, I think that processor is more than enough, and we get a lot of good performance, but we won't really see that like really high frame rates if you were to play a game like Counter-Strike, where you like have no strain on your GPU and it's just bottlenecked by your CPU. But newer versions of the Acer Helios 300 is gonna get like a brand new update, but the performance will probably stay somewhat the same. But we will see that the newer versions now have a little bit faster Intel processors. But I think in most of the games that I play at like Ultra and such, we are like bottlenecked by the 3060, even though it's a good performance graphics card. We will always like be bottlenecked by it. So even though the i5 10300H isn't the best performing processor, the overall package here is a good deal in my opinion. And I was also looking for a 3060 laptop with a low price. So if you are buying a new laptop now, you will maybe have a little bit of a better CPU, and that will get you a little bit of better performance in some games and such, but the differences won't be too high. But overall, this here is absolutely awesome configuration, and if you go for higher specs, you will just see better performance in games. Not like super much higher, but even with this configuration, which isn't like the highest performing 3060 and not the best CPU, we get really good averages in all of the games that I have tested, and I'm really happy overall, as I've said. So yeah, I think I will just continue this video, letting the games go off or play in the background, and you can like quick forward to the games that maybe you are more interested in. Yeah, so thank you for at least clicking into this video, and I hope you found some useful information, even though maybe you're not looking into a 3060. You will probably see some kind of similar performance in other PCs as well, as long as they somewhat got the same specifications and such. And I have to say, with the Acer 300 Helios, I don't really think we are thermal limited. It always seems like we run at fairly high performance, and we don't like get thermal bottlenecked sometime out in the game. So I think that is also an important thing for a gaming laptop. So the true performance that we get on the specification sheet, we will actually see that in game, and it's not like we see those specifications just for 5 minutes and then it then really drops in performance. And just looking here in Flight Simulator, I was really surprised of how good performing the 3060 here is. Can render all of these buildings and such, and I was totally not expecting performance like this from a 3060, but playing in 1080p it maybe makes sense. And it's now set on the high end, and it's the absolutely worst case scenario. I would think maybe we could have set worse weather to get more rendering of skies and such, but it's still big airliner, also showing the glass cockpit, where you have to render those screens and such that I've seen people complain about, taking the performance down. And also in the New York area, which is a really busy area with AI traffic for like cars and such, I guess, and then also buildings everywhere and high like 3D pictures, like satellite imaging that actually builds up a real city, and it's not like a generically modeled buildings everywhere. So that probably also makes the performance worse, but we see here that it's no problem at all. Even though 33 FPS isn't like something you would want in a first-person shooter, 33 FPS in a flight simulator feels absolutely smooth. And also the single-core performance of the i5 is very good as well, so that is also very important for this kind of game. It's not too important to have like a lot of cores, so I don't really think you would probably see any significant difference between like i3, i5 or like i7, as long as the clock speeds and such and the overall performance of the single cores are the same. But yeah, I was adding some voiceover here, but now I will stop, I think. Bye.
Greg, thank you. Thank you, Greg. What are you saying? Oh, he's like, I have money. Yeah. Broker's not too happy, fellas. Bro, there's a guy waiting to make an offer and they're fucking. Sucks to be him, you know? What can you do? Bro, your brother, you can't talk to him, so you have to talk to me.
Squawk 1200. Frequency change approved Boeing 787. New York approach Boeing Alpha Sierra X-Ray 787 is type Boeing B-78X 4 miles southeast of 2 November 7 1,100 feet. Request flight following. Squawk 2046 Boeing 787.
Boys, you want
Roger,
some roll
Boeing
ride?
787.
Yeah, that's it.
1,000. 1,000.
New York approach Boeing Alpha Sierra X-Ray 787. Request clearance to transition Bravo airspace. Cleared through Bravo airspace, Boeing 787.
1,000. 1,000.
I've been fighting the tears. I'm not crying. I'm just saying that. It's tough.
You must have did something right. What did you do right?
tell you camera time. Smart guy, eh? Absolutely. This guy was a beauty. Actual hit. Hey, I thought it was like your plan. This is me and Manager Drew hanging out right here.
So happy to see you at the door. Yes. I'm so grateful for you. Every one of my shining stars are always doing amazing things. I'm so happy to have seen you today. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you. Question, and I'm like giving back because I was like,
It's great meeting all of you guys. Seeing you on
that's a
great work. Here's the 10 million.
I'm just calm down. I feel like this is on the team.
500,000 likes. Go visit Celine's parents. Okay. Alright, I think, yeah, 500,000 likes if you go visit Celine's parents. Started the podcast and uploading episodes every single Wednesday. It's also going to be available on Apple Podcasts, but our YouTube channel is right here. In the description. We need everybody to go and subscribe. In 2 days, we're dropping an episode of Jack. Drewski's going to come through too. Jack's about to pull up right now. You guys don't want to miss that. Make sure you hit the channel right now. Subscribe. Get that channel.
Hopefully he shows up. If he shows up, I still continue momentum to be like right.
So yeah, new podcast every Wednesday, and then emails episodes every single Monday. Pretty fucking sweet boys. See you next Monday.
I'll be back, that's all the point that Superman that all I need. Need the trap. Why would people